Hi, everybody. Claudia here from Fluffy Cow Coffee. As you know, we are the only coffee company in the country that supports farm animal sanctuaries. And we do this via our week-long online fundraisers that benefit a specific sanctuary in the country. And today we are with the lovely Lynette from Luvin Arms Animal Sanctuary in Colorado. Hi, Lynette.
Hi, Claudia. Thanks for having me on today.
Thank you for being here, and I'm sorry about our technical difficulties in the first try, but here we are, and you can hear us.
Yes, everything is just great.
Fantastic. So tell us all about Luvin Arms, where are you located, your mission, that kind of thing.
Absolutely. So, Luvin Arms is a sanctuary that rescues abused and neglected farmed animals. We have been open for about 10 and a half years, and
Wow.
we're located in Erie, Colorado, which is about 25 minutes north of Denver.
25 minutes north of Denver.
Yeah, so not a far drive at all. We do all sorts of public tours and we let people come out and meet all of the incredible residents that live here that we rescued throughout the years.
That's amazing. Now, are you near Boulder?
We are about 30 minutes from Boulder. So Boulder is to the west of us and Denver is south of us.
Okay. Okay, I see. All right, well, very exciting. Now, I can see you're in a big barn. That's quite the structure you've got there.
I am in a big barn and I'm in here with some pig friends. The cows just kind of walked outside. But yeah, I'm in here hanging out with pigs at the moment.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to kind of walk into their area. So as we're chatting, maybe everybody can have a chance to meet some of my buddies.
That'd be awesome. Now tell me about your residents. How many do you have? How many animals do you have?
So we have just over 160 residents currently living here.
Wow.
However, over the course of the past 10 and a half years, we've rescued over 1,100.
Wow.
So they come here, they get to live out the rest of their lives, and it's a really great place for them. We have 11 different species here, everything from big cows that weigh 2,000 pounds down to little chickens that barely weigh 2 pounds. I would say our most unique resident that lives here is we have a 21-year-old peacock named Peter who is solid white. So yeah, he's a really cool dude. Right here behind me, though, this is my friend Athena.
Hi, Athena.
Athena is a 7-year-old pig who was rescued with her sister Ophelia quite a few years ago, and now they just get to live here together and grow old together with the rest of their pig friends.
Oh, isn't that awesome? Now tell me a little bit about where are you? Like how you get your residents? What are the circumstances when you say you rescue neglected and abused? So from what circumstances?
So there's a lot of different types of circumstances. So like a lot of times, if there's like an abuse case that's happening that maybe the authorities have had to step in for, and they need to get those animals out of there and find them a new home. Those are times that we're able to step in. In fact, my buddy Brinkley here came from a situation like that where they were just not being cared for anymore, and they had to rehome a whole bunch of animals. And Brinkley and her brothers, Garth and Gilmore, got to come live at the sanctuary at that point. So there's a lot of different reasons and a lot of different ways that our residents come to us, and they're not just from Colorado. We have animals from all over the country, from Texas, from Arizona, from Michigan, from Florida. They can come to us from anywhere. Animals that really need a place. If we have space, we're bringing them in.
That is amazing. Now, what is your capacity? Are you at capacity at 160?
We are nearing capacity for sure. With some species, we are at capacity with their space. We have 40 acres, so we have outdoor space, but we have a specific quality of life we want to provide for these guys, which means we have to have a certain amount of indoor space as well. So that's one of that we're always looking to raise funds for. Being a not-for-profit, we're always trying to raise money, is to be able to build additional indoor spaces so we can have the opportunity for more rescues, to be able to tell more stories and help people open their minds to accepting farmed animals in their circle of compassion.
Absolutely. Now tell me about your tours, you say the public is welcome probably during certain hours and certain days.
Yes.
Is that
So most of our public tours happen on Saturday and Sunday. We are able to book private tours throughout the week, but it doesn't just end there. We work with a lot of students as well in this area and outside of this area. So we do field trips. Last year alone, we had over 14,000 students that either stepped foot on the property or we went to their school with humane education lessons. We also offer virtual tours for those groups that either can't make it to the sanctuary or live in other parts of the country and it's just not possible. We do virtual tours 7 days a week.
That is fantastic. I think, I honestly don't think I have talked with, and we do this every week. And so I've talked to hundreds of sanctuaries around the country. I don't think I've ever heard of such organized and impactful outreach for kids.
It's super important, and one of the things about Luvin Arms that's super important to us is our educational programming.
Sure.
Because while rescue is important and we're saving lives, it's through education that we will actually save more lives in the long term. So
Of
we put a lot
course.
on education.
That's extraordinary. Now, I bet you can see when you've gotten through to a kid, like
It's pretty incredible.
when they put
Yeah.
two and two together and they're like, oh, Athena, could have been,
Right.
saying,
No,
right?
exactly right. It's really incredible to see those aha moments. And a lot of times those take time. We have certain programs with kids where they get to come out here about once a month to participate in some of our educational programming. And maybe 3 or 4 months in of coming out here, you will start seeing major changes and major shifts in the mindset, in the way that they think about farmed animals and the type of consumer that they want to be once they learn the things that they learn about farmed animals. So it really does feel great knowing that the education work that we're doing is making an absolute difference in the lives of not just the farmed animals, but for the human beings that are making those shifts.
Of course. And then, and the exponential impact of the education. Like obviously, I know you know this, but in dog and cat rescue, I used to run a rescue, and you can't adopt your way out of the problem. You can't
No,
rescue your way out of the problem. You have to do it with education and spaying and neutering to have the real impact on the animals that we so love. So that is
absolutely.
and you had 14,000 in this past year.
Yes, and that was just students. If we want to count all human beings that either made their way through here or that we were able to make connections with virtually, we actually reached about 45,000 people in 2025.
My God.
That's
I
pretty
would,
much my entire job is to I'm the education manager. So I spend most of my days doing outreach and working with students and working with adult programs, just doing humane education lessons and teaching a lot of different ways that we can create solutions or ways that we can shift our mindset in the way that we feel about farmed animals and the way that we want to be consumers.
yes, I would be fascinated to know how many people's diets changed as a result of meeting you guys.
Yeah, we do get feedback on that quite frequently through a lot of feedback forms that we send out, and we see a lot of progress being made. We will oftentimes have people book a tour to come out here after having been out to one of like our big free events, and they will come out on a tour to let us know that they have either dropped dairy from their diets or they've completely given up all animal products or they are starting to do like a meatless Monday based on the stuff that they learned by spending time with us here at the sanctuary. So we can see and we hear about the differences that we're making in people's lives.
Ah, what a fulfilling job, Lynette.
It's pretty incredible. I love it every single day.
I mean, my God, who wouldn't? I mean, what a great job. And particularly that you get to go home every night and think what an impact you had not only on the animals that you care for, but the people you touch.
I am grateful for this opportunity literally every single day. It really is a very fulfilling job getting to know that this is what I get to do. I get to work hard to make a difference in the lives of humans and non-humans alike.
Oh, it's amazing. Now tell me, how did Luvin Arms start?
So our founders are named Shalene and Shilpi Shah, and they are Jain Indian. And one of the principles of Jainism is something called ahimsa. It's a word familiar to people if they do yoga. It's a word that's used a lot in that circle, and it's a
Mhm.
Sanskrit word that means nonviolence or doing as little harm as possible. And so it's something that they were certainly practicing in their everyday lives. And they had adopted a horse named Holly, which is short for jalapeno because she is kind of spicy.
Uh-huh.
And they had intended to ride her. And whenever they were going through that training process with her, she gave every single indication that the answer was no, that she did not want that to be her life journey. And so what they did instead is shifted to what they felt would be best for Holly, which was creating a space for her and knowing that she was going to need companionship. So they did end up at a live auction where they sat through about 6 hours of lots of different types of farmed animals in various states of abuse and neglect. And it was through sitting through that for 6 hours that they really realized that this area really needed a place like Luvin Arms, where animals can come and be free from fear and living out the rest of their life in safety with no harm being done to them. And literally the very next day, they got a phone call kind of out of nowhere about a piece of property that was available for lease. And it was just a sign to them that they needed to start this journey. And so they did. And we've been open ever since.
That's such a wonderful origination story, and
Yeah.
such wonderful founders, and they're still involved.
They absolutely are. We see them. They come out here. They both sit on our board of directors. So it's pretty wonderful that they've been around for this whole entire time. And we have a handful of residents that have been here just about that whole entire time too. Certainly Holly and her roommate Niblet, but also residents like Felix the Big Pig. Felix just celebrated his 11th birthday this past Sunday, and he's been with the sanctuary almost the whole time we've been open. So we do have a good handful of residents, because we do rescue for their entire lives, that have
Right.
been here the entire life of the sanctuary. It's
And
actually
and
a privilege to be able to see these guys age that normally for animals like them don't even get to live into adulthood, and we get to help usher them into their senior years.
oh, I think you guys are extraordinary. I'm so excited that we're doing this with you guys. So speaking of, let's talk about the fundraiser. So the deal with the fundraiser is we donate $2.50 for every item sold on the website, include coffee, species specific swag, whatever it is. And then we and then afterwards, Beth will give you a shortened URL so anybody who wants to subscribe for like a subscription to coffee, because the coffee is really good, by the way. FYI, the coffee is like 5-star coffee. We're not just
Incognito this morning, so
yeah.
I can tell you from myself, it's really great coffee.
I'm drinking incognito right now myself as well. So it's not just a company with a good mission; it's great coffee and a great mission. So we're very proud of that. We're very proud of the impact we can have on farm animal sanctuaries, and that's how we do it. So $2.50 for every item sold on the website during the course of the week-long fundraiser, which began Monday morning and Sunday at midnight. And then, like I said, it's per item, not per order. So we have 4.5 days to get the word out to the fan base, your fan base, our fan base, to get people to buy, so I can write you a big old check on Monday. But that's how the actual fundraiser works. So to that end, Lynette, tell me, give me an idea of what like a $300 donation, what kind of impact that would have.
So a $300 donation would feed a cow for almost a month. It would cover most of their hay costs. That's not including any kind of veterinary care, but a $300 donation would feed one of our 2,000-pound cows for almost a month. So that's kind of impact that would have. It could also cover most of an overnight stay that wasn't requiring a lot of additional stuff for one of our residents should they have to go up to CSU for some emergency care. Their cost for an overnight stay is around $400. So a $300 check would cover almost the entirety of a stay in the emergency room if they had to go. So things like that are super important for us so that we don't have a funding issue having us help or have to make a decision on care. And so it's really nice to know when we have those funds that funds are not going to be a concern when having to make those care decisions.
Yes, I think that's terrific. I bet you have lots of emergency room overnight stays.
We actually have a buddy there right now, trying to get healthy. So yeah, we do have them because of the type of care we want to provide for these guys. We have a great partnership with CSU. They're willing to help us out with a lot of our large animals. And so yeah, we definitely sometimes have to do that and really would just want to make sure that we're able to provide the best life possible for all of the residents that live here.
That's fantastic. You must be near Fort Collins.
We are about an hour south of Fort
Oh.
Collins. When we do drive to CSU, it is a bit of a drive, but they really are the closest large animal emergency room that we can get to.
Sure, sure. I'm really having a hard time placing where Erie is. What's your biggest, so you're 25 miles away from Denver.
Well, 25 minutes north. So I'm trying to think if you know where like Broomfield is.
Yes.
We're just that literally Erie is right next to Broomfield. Those two cities go right next to each other. But I-25 is the road that goes from Colorado Springs all the way up into Wyoming. And so we are right off of, in fact, I can see I-25 looking out the barn doors from here. So we are about 2 miles off of I-25 north.
Well, Lynette, it's been such a pleasure to meet you today and get to learn all about Luvin Arms. It sounds so wonderful what you guys are doing, and the impact is just extraordinary. Keep up. I mean, you guys are like saints, man. Keep up the good work. Keep spreading the word. I think it's terrific, and I'm so happy. I'm so happy to support you guys.
And we are super appreciative of your support. Like I said, it's because of partnerships with groups like Fluffy Cow Coffee, where we can afford to be able to give the incredible care that we strive to give here at the sanctuary. So thank you guys for including us in this week. And we're going to keep promoting and check us out on our socials. We're going to be adding links every time we post so everybody can go purchase some great coffee, or they have some super cute shirts and things. I saw one on there that has a cow that says "Heard that," and I loved it. There's a lot of cute things on there. Even if you don't drink coffee, go check it out and support Luvin Arms.
Thank you so much, Lynette. You have a wonderful weekend, and I really hope, fingers crossed, that we just do a great job and I write you a big old check on Monday.
Yes, thank you so much, Claudia.
Okay, bye.